Welcome back to the Other Half podcast. My name is Gabe Gonzalez.
And I'm Josiah Gonzalez, and this is the podcast where we explore mixed race identity and culture and the perspectives around that.
And today's guest is all the way from Beirut, Lebanon. Please welcome Laila Kobeissi.
Hey guys.
You got her name right. That's good.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, perfect.
Thanks for coming on the podcast, Laila.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So the first thing we like to ask all of our guests is, what is your specific ethnic background?
Okay, well, I'm half Lebanese. Dad's Lebanese, and I'm half Filipino from mom's side. Yeah, I was born and raised in Beirut.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you speak really good English. Is that like an ignorant thing for me to say? Do lots of Lebanese people speak English, or?
Most Lebanese like speak different languages, like mostly French and English. Like they're bilingual and trilingual. We had the French mandate for a while, like so most people like have French, and it's considered the second like language after the Arabic, like second formal language.
Okay.
Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt ignorant. Oh my God.
Yeah, like Lebanon is one of the like oldest countries ever existing. Like it's really deep in history and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So you speak. Yeah. So what do you speak?
I speak Arabic, English, and a bit of Tagalog.
Oh wow! Yeah, we're just learning Tagalog now, so like we only know English.
I learned it like I learned it by myself, and like my mom used to talk a bit of Tagalog and like got me this dictionary when I was a kid, and like I watched like some Tagalog movies and series and everything, and here I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, pretty helpful.
So you can hold like a basic conversation then in Tagalog, or?
Kind of, yeah. Like if I get lost in the Philippines, I'm fine.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like for us, we can kind of understand, pick out words here and there, especially when like our grandparents speak. But I don't think we can hold conversation just yet.
True, like it's harder like to hold a conversation because like it needs practice, and like people who practice it like are able to, but like it's easier to understand in my opinion.
Yeah. How did your parents meet?
Well, my mom came to Lebanon to work, and like they had a common friend, and they met through them. Like mom's friend's Filipino and her husband's Lebanese, and they met, and like they found love and got married.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, like it's been like 28 years. Yeah, since they've been married. They have 3 girls and a grandchild.
Oh, crazy. Cool.
We've come to realize like most half Filipinos, it's usually the mom that's Filipino. That's
True. True. Like if you notice, like most of the OFWs are mostly Filipino women who travel abroad and work. If you notice that.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you know many half Filipinos in Beirut?
Yeah, I know a lot of them. We also have a community that's called Phileb, where all half Filipino, half Lebanese families gather and like on occasions and like hold events and everything. Yeah, it's a huge community to be honest.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's fun. Like, and most of my friends are part Filipino, part Lebanese.
So that'd be interesting in terms of like how do the religions work within the family then? So like
most are like from the same religion. You have those who are from different religions, like multi-religious relationships, like my parents, but end up converting. Like my mom ended up converting to Islam.
Okay.
But so they work out perfectly. Like it teaches you how to be tolerant and more accepting for others and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, like Lebanon is like known for having like 18 like sects and like different religions. They have Christians and Islams like all living in the same country, and like 18 sects, which like has like we're versatile. We're very
Right.
Yeah, you can find different religions.
And is Beirut a big city?
Yeah, it's a big city. Actually, it's a beautiful city and it's a big city. Unfortunately, like what happened like a couple of weeks ago was devastating.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should talk about that for sure. That is
Yeah, it's something like the entire world should know and should like remember and like keep talking about it. Like it's not something that happens every day.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
True.
And the way that things work nowadays in the news, it's just like something happens for a couple days and then everyone forgets, unfortunately.
True, true. People should not forget this incident at all.
Yeah, it's super sad. Um,
True.
and because we've seen like the blast radius to put it into perspective. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's all these like images now where you can put the blast radius on the city
True,
that you know. So
true.
when we saw what it looked like over Vancouver here in Canada, like it would have
Yeah,
wiped out the whole city,
Yeah.
true,
which
true.
is
Like
insane.
true. I live a bit far from the explosion, yet I heard it and felt like the like semi-earthquake that happens before the explosion, like the blast, and like saw the smoke from the balcony. Like it was super scary, and like I live a bit far from it. Yeah, I consider myself very lucky, but at the same time, like we're all sad because of what happened. Like we have like 220 people dead, 50 are missing, and like almost 300,000 people are homeless now.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
That's insane.
Yeah, and not to mention like the 6,000 who are injured.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's
300,000. Wow.
yes, like yeah, like where the blast happened, like it's in the port, but around the port are like people who live normally, like old neighborhoods and like buildings and everything. So all of this is like gone. Like
And
the estimated cost is like $15 billion to like the estimated loss.
wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how does the like the city or the government manage all of those people? Like what are they doing to support them or what's happening?
The government is doing nothing, to be honest. Like the
Uh,
government resigned. Like, yeah, if you heard about Lebanon's crisis, now like we are facing like an economic collapse,
Mm,
inflation, and like everything all at once, in addition to COVID. So,
jeez.
like, yeah, and if you know more about Lebanon, it's known to be very corrupt. Like the government throughout the 30 years are very corrupt, like piling up corruption over 30 years led to a huge amount of debt and people like being like unemployed, increased amount of poverty and everything. And like it ended up with this blast due to the neglect of the government. Like
Right.
they knew there is like this amount of ammonium nitrate, it was like 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate in the port, and like they didn't do anything. Like how can you leave this amount there?
that is
Yes, and
wild.
yeah, so you can tell like the government is doing nothing for that, and people are uh like, revolting
Hmm.
just for change and asking for change and like for the government to do something, and they're actually not.
Yeah. Is there a lot of I guess pushback from the government against revolts? Like is there a lot of
Yeah,
brutality happening?
they're totally against people revolting because like it's like the government and everything in Lebanon is controlled by political parties. And like
Yeah.
those political parties work for their benefit, and like when people revolt against them, like nothing will be working for them. And, like
Hmm.
they have full control over the country, like making it very, very hard for changes to happen. Like the same people come over and over again for
Yeah.
30 years now after the civil war. The same people are ruling us, or
Yeah.
and they're very corrupt. So imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we keep it positive.
Yeah.
We keep a positive like spirit. Like Lebanese people are known for being positive no matter what, and hopefully will remain so until like things get better.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, things always kind of think like good things always kind of come out of like those tragic situations, right? It's like that roller
true,
coaster of time. The history goes down and then
true,
it always comes back up and something good comes out of it, right? So
true, true, true.
I
And
think
like Beirut. Beirut is known as a phoenix that rises from the ashes. Like Beirut has been buried for 7 times throughout history, and
Yeah.
like this time it's considered its eighth time. So we all know that it's going to rise again from the ashes and be rebuilt and be as pretty as always.
Yeah. That goes to show the fortitude of the people, right? Like,
True,
the,
true.
yeah.
Like people are helping each other. People are like hand in hand, donating everything, helping and rebuilding. Like Lebanese spirit all over.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, this 2020 year has just been insane for everyone, and
Yeah,
more
it
so
is
for some
insane
people, like your
for a
city
country.
or,
Yeah, for a
or your
country
country.
like the entire world has its own 2020 and Lebanon has its own 2020, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's
Crazy.
been a crazy year.
It's been so like unbelievably crazy, kind of like this is the stuff you see,
True,
in movies, or like it just seems
true.
like it would never happen to us. But then in the same light, it's like it
It's
feels
happened.
like it's happened, and I feel like everyone's more optimistic though, that things are just going to get better once we get out of this.
True, true. Like people need to always to be positive about things and like keep their spirit high, or else like, they'd barely be able to live. So that's why
Hmm.
like people need to look forward and always be motivated. Like at the end of the tunnel, there will be light. There will be something that will happen eventually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how is it on a day to day for you then with COVID, and do you guys go outside much, or how is it there?
Well, talking about myself, like I work as a managing partner for a social media agency.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work from home, so it's not very complicated for me. I'm always like due to COVID, I'm always home. So taking safety precautions, wearing like masks and everything just to be safe and not going out much. And that's basically it. Like I finished my master's degree last year, so also attending college is not a burden anymore. Like it's like just spending my time home working.
Well, that's good that you have the opportunity to work from home still and stuff. That's good.
True, true,
Yeah.
true. Like
Nice.
like true. Still like I still feel like very lucky, like I'm able to work from home and like be able to work in this like tough time.
Yeah, just the way that the world's changing, it's nice that we can do things from the internet, right? And
True,
and
true,
we
true,
see which jobs are still important, right? The people that are
true.
working. So
Exactly. Like we all know like how internet changed everyone's lives. Like the entire world has changed with internet and like everything can be like done remotely now.
mhm.
Yeah. Especially my domain, like social media and everything. Like you can work anywhere in the world and still finish it. How about you guys?
Well, for me, I'm on summer vacation, so I'm a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so I've had the last 2 months off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
What subject do you teach?
well, I'm teaching English. Well, I'm going into a
Mm-hmm.
new school, so just figuring out the logistics right now for how that's going to play out, because we're going to
Mm-hmm.
have students come in. So it's really
Mm.
interesting. But I teach
Yeah,
English and social studies.
mm,
So,
that's nice. I was a teacher for a year as well.
oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, I taught English for grade three students.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a nice experience.
Yeah, teaching is one of those things, like you either really want to do it, or it's kind of like, it's good to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like it started like so, like I was offered this job because like my English was pretty good and like they needed an English teacher and everything. So I applied for the job and like I was like I was hired and like I really enjoyed it. Like eventually I enjoyed it. It's like nice to see like little kids enjoying your class and like remembering everything you do and like try to copy it all. Like it's really nice for you to see like you left a good impression. And like until now, like almost 4 years from now, I still in touch with those students. They're no longer kids, but like we still keep in touch and like they still contact me. Like it's nice. Like your relationship exceeds being just a teacher to being like a sister or an older sister. Like helps them and like gives them advice and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I see it as well. You
True,
really like it's really important to form those relationships. And
true,
that's
true. Like Like an educator shouldn't just give like apply like this. Like you read a book, you study, and done. Like you have to teach them stuff about life and how you apply the things you learn in real life, whether like they're relevant or not. But like you have to tell them how to learn about life as well, not just like whatever is in the book.
Exactly. And that's where the real value comes from. Because, I mean, if they're
True.
really like, we have the internet. So if they're really passionate about something, they learn it themselves. So I found,
Right.
I teach the older grades, so high
Mm-hmm.
school. And I found that like some students just know way more about a certain topic than I do because they'll
True.
just spend hours on the internet learning it.
True. They
So
have access to everything now,
yeah,
unlike us. Like the old times, we didn't have this much access to anything.
yeah. So now it's not, I'm not the holder of all the information. That's teachers aren't that. We're just more of like, um, it's more about that relationship building and giving them personal advice about, because we've experienced
True.
life differently and we
True.
think that we know more about life than they do. So we just try to share those lessons.
True. Like it's unusual. It's a give and take thing. Like you, like even if I taught like 7-year-old kids before, like I learned from them lots of stuff. Like you can tell, like, wow, a 7-year-old kid knows all of that. That's crazy. Like you learn from them lots of stuff as well, as much as they learn from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going back in a couple weeks, and we're just trying to figure out the logistics of having all of the students in the school, which is
True. True. So
which is
here as well,
crazy.
they're trying to figure out a way to continue like the year like it started with all the COVID and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and then like it's projected to be worse in the fall, right? It's supposed to spike back up. So it'll be interesting
True.
to see how things operate then after that.
True. Like we, as we said before, we always need to be optimistic and see how things will go.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
eventually we can't stay locked in our homes. Life must go on. Like we will see like how things will work.
Yeah, the cases might go up, and also I think it's mutating as well, like the virus itself. I've read some stuff on
Yeah,
that.
true. Like I read something like in the Philippines it's mutating to something way serious than just COVID. But I don't know how real or how accurate this information is.
Yeah, likewise. I
I
just saw.
think I think based on just like the limited virus information I know, it's like
True,
most viruses kind of mutate every year anyways. Same with like
true,
influenza. That's why we have to keep getting vaccinated for influenza.
true,
You get
true.
flu vaccines because it just changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of how just for again basic virology. Obviously, I'm not a virologist, but that's kind of how it works. So they always tend to mutate. So I don't know.
True, true. Like it will reach a day, like it's kind of like it's like a regular flu. It will pass by and like
Exactly. Yeah.
it's gone. But like
Yeah.
for the time being, people always need to be cautious and like follow safety procedures, or else it
Mhm.
will just get worse.
Do you know anyone that's been infected by COVID at all, or?
Yeah, my cousin, but in Africa, she lives in Africa. Like she had it. Like
Mhm.
and now she's all recovered, but like she told us it's like really hard. Like she had like hard time breathing and like wasn't able to smell stuff and taste, like high fever, like extremely tired. And like
Yeah.
then she recovered. She's young, she's athletic and like healthy, which also
Oh,
helps.
yeah. Well, that's good that she recovered. Nice.
True.
Yeah.
Have you ever like considered like visiting Lebanon or like what stuff you know about Lebanon in general?
I honestly don't know much about Lebanon. I've
Hmm.
met with like there's a lot of Lebanese people in Canada. Obviously,
True.
we have
Yeah.
a population as everyone, but every Lebanese person I've met are just the
Hmm.
sweetest people. That's what I know about Lebanon. So
That's nice.
if that's an indication of anything, yeah.
True, true. Like Lebanese people are known to being very sweet and nice and very hospitable.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah. They'll always like invite you to coffee or have dinner or have lunch or anything. Like they're just like happy, like optimistic people and like really sweet and hospitable, as I said.
Yeah. I guess if you
Yeah.
mix that with the Filipino culture of like large gatherings and eating, that must be A good combo then, hey?
True, true. Like being half Lebanese and half Filipino is like having best of both worlds, as they
Yeah.
say. Like you get to taste the Lebanese cuisine, which is known for being one of the best like cuisines in the world. And then like you have the Filipino, which is like also way different than the Lebanese one. So
Yeah.
like you get to taste everything and like learn from two different cultures, like and like your personality is shaped on both, like based on both.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like
What's
especially
Oh no, go ahead.
like I was saying, like it's especially here, like being mixed and everything. Like it's like some people look at you in a way like intolerant, but like at the same time, others look at you as like, oh, you're mixed, and like, what is it about? And like, it's always interesting for them.
Yeah. I know
Mhm.
on our Filipino side, like knowing you're mixed is like we're pretty much royalty. So
True, true. They always want you to be an actress and like participate in like, you have to do this ad and like you have to be an actor and an actress and everything. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. When we're in the Philippines, we'll try out. It's nice to be treated as royalty from time to time. Yeah.
have you been to the Philippines?
Yeah, like last time I was there was in 2017. I was planning to visit this year as well, but like COVID happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems well, I guess it'd be a lot easier for you to get to the Philippines than for us, I think.
Yeah,
How long's the flight?
almost like 18 hours, 18-hour
Oh.
flight.
Okay, never mind.
That's a long ass flight. Jeez.
It is a long flight. Like, yeah, it is.
Oh wow.
How long is it
Mhm.
from here? Gabe?
It's shorter than that because you go into I think I went into Taiwan.
Mhm.
So because we're on the west coast of North America, you
True.
go just into Taiwan and then Taiwan to Manila.
Oh,
So
right.
True.
You fly over Pacific.
yeah, I think it's like 13 hours, kind of. So it's not 18. That seems a lot longer.
18 and like last time I went, like I had like extra layover in Qatar and ended up staying for 24 hours. Reached home after 24 hours.
Dang.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
that cuts
Yeah,
your
but
trip down a little bit.
yeah, but basically it's like 18 hours. Like
Whereabouts in the Philippines is your family originally from?
mom's from Manila,
Manila.
from like
Okay.
Manila, Pasig. Yeah, like mom's family are really nice people and like they love us a lot and like being like mixed and like far from them, they always like contact us and like make sure we're okay and like we
Yeah.
always video chat with them. Like yeah.
I'm trying to I've been trying to call my grandpa like over
Hmm.
video chat the last couple of days,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
they're just so old and he doesn't really understand the technology.
Like my
So
my my grandma actually like has a Facebook account like recently and made a Facebook account and Instagram account. I can like, always contact her through video call.
Oh wow, she's on top of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, she's a cool grandma.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
it's like our grandpa will sometimes do like Facebook lives, but he doesn't know he's doing them. And then
True, true. Or
and then he'll like
like
post it on Facebook. So it's just like him moving around. And I'm
true,
like,
or like post like screenshots or like weird pictures, and like I just have to like it because like it's just grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
You support grandma regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you from in the Philippines?
just outside of Manila.
Mm,
It's a little city called San Pablo. So it's not
mm,
far. Maybe like an
mm.
hour, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was there 2 years ago and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even go to San Pablo. I don't know. We couldn't make our way over there. It was really busy and compact. We only had
Mm-hmm.
like 10 days there. So
Mm.
and we had all this stuff planned. Um,
Yeah.
but I definitely want to go back.
Yeah, me too. Like the last time I went for like 2 weeks. Like I had lots of stuff also planned, but like my time was really short. Hopefully when COVID ends, like we'll be able to visit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully the flights are not super expensive.
Well, they'll be cheaper. People
True,
They
just
should,
they'll
true.
just want you to fly.
yeah.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be like either the same or cheaper, like to motivate people to fly again. But like
Exactly.
apparently they're going higher.
Oh,
Prices are like going up.
Yeah, see, they might inflate because they'll know everyone's ready to fly, so they'll like
True.
they'll put a premium on
True.
it.
True,
Um,
true. Like
but
we have to wait and see what like how things will happen with it.
and I just spent almost a month in the States,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where my partner lives. She lives in Washington
Mm-hmm.
D.C. and
Yeah.
for me, it's usually like a $500-$600 flight to get there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it only cost me 200 in all of this. So I was so happy, but
True.
a little scared to fly. Um,
Yeah, but like you're flying for a good reason. A risk you're willing to take.
yeah, definitely a risk. And
Yeah.
coming back into Canada, I have to
Mm-hmm.
quarantine for 14 days. So I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to leave at all. And it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But
True. True. It's all worth it.
yeah,
And like with technology and everything, like staying in lockdown for like 2 weeks is fine. Like you have your phone, you have internet and everything. So it's like time passes by.
yeah, I can only like just trying to imagine what it'd be like if this all happened and there was no internet. So
oh
like,
Oh
man.
God.
imagine if COVID happened like early 90s, early mid 90s, like
Oh,
what would
God.
first of all, we'd all be good at stuff. We'd just be like reading and
True.
Yeah.
pick up
We still
instruments.
read. We still read. Like, yeah, we'll be doing more stuff like maybe like instruments and everything.
We'd be
And
reading
like
encyclopedias is what we'd be doing.
Yeah.
true, and like sleeping more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like learning how to sew and stuff. Just do like
True.
practical
How
practical
to
skills.
knit and like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
think winter is coming. Let's knit a scarf or like do a shirt.
Yeah.
2 weeks it will be. Yeah. So
I'm
like
glad-
even now and like with like internet and everything, you're able to learn lots of stuff as well.
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, I find myself like even though I have lots of time to read, I
Mm-hmm.
still find myself engaging with like videos or podcasts or that kind of stuff because I really enjoy.
True.
I learn a lot easier when I'm listening to something or watching
True.
it
True.
versus
Exactly. Me too.
reading. Um, although, as an English teacher, I should be better at reading more books.
Yeah, but like everyone like has his own preference and like has his own way of, like learning stuff. Plus like we're like everything like has a video now or like it's on audio, which makes it easier for a person.
Definitely.
Mm. Like I'm the same too. Like I prefer like watching and like listening to stuff than reading. But then like you have to read because like it like lets you get engaged more and like lets your like, imagination work more.
Yeah, that's true. I'm listening to an audiobook right now that actually has
Mm-hmm.
like a companion book you can read with it. So
Mm-hmm.
they like reference study materials in the book, which is nice. So you get like the audio version so you can listen to it because if I read too much, I get sleepy. um, so they give you the audiobook plus the like a PDF of the book, which is cool. You can kind
True.
of get
Yeah, like you can like follow like
yeah,
as a person, you can read and everything. And like if you get like bored of just looking at it, you can listen.
exactly. Yeah. So it's handy that way, which is nice.
True. Plus like when you listen to it, you can be engaged in different stuff. Like you can go jogging or doing anything while you listen
Mhm.
to it. Well, if you read, you're just like focusing on what's in your hand.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you reading anything at the moment or listening to anything?
Yeah, I'm reading the Sirah. It's like the life of the Prophet Muhammad. Yeah, I'm in volume 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm reading it, like getting to know more about like my religion and everything. I have like
Yeah.
lots of spare time, so I can read. I like some regular books, some like, stories and everything. But like this book is the major one I'm reading right now.
I think I wanted to touch on this earlier, but coming back to Lebanese food.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had Lebanese food before, but I don't know if I actually have, to be honest. So what's like the
Yeah.
main staples or
Yeah. Well, every Lebanese, like if you tell them like what I should try, they'll tell you tabbouleh, which is like our national salad, and like hummus. You're supposed like you've tried hummus before.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and then like you have the shawarma, and like you have like the different types of meat, like the really ground meat that's like really lean and soft. It's called kibinaye. Yeah, in
Okay.
addition, like the different stuff, like the Lebanese barbecue is like really good. Yeah, we're really known for having like really good cuisine, like very versatile and rich.
So,
Yeah,
so
you
schwa
should try it. Like I think in Canada, like there's a lot of Lebanese restaurants over there.
like I've
Yeah.
definitely had shawarma, had that
Mm.
lots. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been to a Lebanese restaurant.
There's a ton in Vancouver. I don't know if you ever went to any, but like we like when I lived downtown, I think there's like four Lebanese places downtown in Vancouver. So I
You should
definitely
try.
had yeah, well, I definitely had that. I've definitely come to think of it.
Yeah. Yeah, like you just go there and like try everything. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing specific like that's good. Like, all of it's it's good. Like grapevines. You should try like the grapevines as well. Stuffed grapevines.
Stuffed grapevines?
Stuffed like they stuff it with rice and vegetables and like with
That
like
sounds good.
lemon or like with rice and meat. Depends on your
Oh, that
preference.
sounds
But like
good.
both of them are so good. Super
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And it's healthy. Like Lebanese is definitely healthier than Filipino food.
True, true. Like, yeah, it's healthy because like it has lots of vegetables in it. Like sometimes it can be like not healthy when you include fat in it, but like most of it is healthy.
So I'm willing to bet that you like Lebanese food way more than Filipino food.
Both actually, but like I prefer like the Filipino dessert.
Right.
Filipino dessert is just the best. I like for like both. But like I find like Lebanese cuisine is like more rich than the Filipino. Yeah, because
What?
like the Filipino food is like based mostly on fish and stuff like, and I'm not a big fan of fish, so I like Lebanese is
Okay.
like has various stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have that. That you guys have such an awesome experience there versus like us where we just
Sure.
have like boring Canadian food, which is actually isn't even a thing. It's just like
Yeah, like
American food, I guess. So
yeah,
that's why we've
like
really like attached on to the Filipino side because it's a unique
mm-hmm,
cuisine versus
true.
our white side,
Which is like nothing, really.
which
It's just an
And that
appropriation of different foods, really.
that I agree. Like yeah, true. Like plus here, like there is like almost 30,000 OFWs here, so you can find like lots of Filipino restaurants that serve Filipino food, and like mom always like made sure we get to learn about our Filipino side, its food, its culture, and everything. Like we're really influenced by like the Filipino culture.
that's definitely the side that we've took on to.
True, true. Like you can see like most mixed kids, if I say, or like mixed people, like who are half part Filipino, are influenced a lot by like their Filipino side. You can see like they love the Philippines, they love the food, they try to learn the language. Like they're very proud of that side of them. Both sides, but like still like the emphasis on the Filipino side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've actually noticed that too. Just
Yeah.
with any mixed Filipino, usually the Filipino side kind of attaches to their identity more so than the other side, I guess.
Yeah. I guess like because like it's something like the common thing that we have. So
Yeah.
maybe it's the first thing that we talk about and discuss, and like you're very excited when you meet someone who's like sharing the same experience or like
Mhm.
has the same background as yours. So it's like maybe because of that, like it's the first thing you talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the like as I told you before, like for me, like I got the best of both worlds, like having the Lebanese culture, like that's very rich and like deep in history and culture and everything, and same for Filipino, like totally two different things, like mixed in one.
and like for us, well, for me, anyways, I guess my experience is so so narrow because once I started going through social media and looking at all these mixed Filipinos or like that part Filipino
Mm-hmm.
account, um,
True.
and just understanding, like seeing all these different mixes, I'm like, holy! I've just been like focused on like the mixes that I've seen in Canada,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. True.
and
True.
like when I saw your mix, Lebanese Filipino, it just blew my mind. I didn't even consider that, which is so
Yeah.
which is so like narrow-minded in my thinking. And then that's crazy. And then you have a huge community there, so it's like normal for you. Uh,
Mm.
but for us,
True.
it's like it's so
Yeah.
so out of this world for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, like our community here, like it's huge. Like there's lots of families and like us as the youth always like try to hang with each other and like have like outings and everything. And like the parents always focus on doing like events and everything just like to get the families to know each other more and bond like because
Yeah, it's
like, we
cool. It's like
exist. Like
it's
might
like
just like hang with each other.
that's cool. It's like it's making its own I guess its own culture, right? Rather than being Filipino Lebanese, it's like you said, it's Phileb. It's like
True.
its own thing now, right?
True. It's our own brand. Like we hashtag ourselves as Leb and everything.
Oh
I
yeah, there
like
you
be
go.
proud of it, being half Lebanese, half Filipino. Like it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have to share stuff with other people. Like who have you share stuff is the same as each other.
And that's really what we're trying to do with our podcast, is
Mm-hmm.
just meeting people with mixed experience, and the difference in it. Like we have a very a common bond, but at the same time it's so vast in our experiences. So
True. I
it's like a
agree.
different
I agree.
community that I think
I
would be
agree.
really cool to explore.
I agree. Like it's very nice to meet people who are like at some point the same or share the same thing, but like at this different point, like really different. Like you're learning about them in all aspects.
Yeah. Like you've probably, have you been to Canada before?
No, no.
Maybe you've considered coming to Canada, like visiting once.
Hmm.
Whereas like
Like
us, I don't think we've ever even thought of coming to Beirut. I don't know about you, Sai. Like,
No, not really.
oh,
it's like it's a beautiful country. You should like when things get better, you should consider visiting it. Like you can like
Yeah.
just Google search Lebanon and you can see how pretty it is.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely got to go there. Um,
Yeah.
okay, that'll be on my list. Like right now on my list is, I got to go to India because
Hmm.
my girlfriend's Indian, so definitely got to
Hmm.
go there. And I've never been to Europe, so I feel like that's somewhere I want to go explore and travel. Um,
True. True. Yeah, the same thing. Like I have like a traveling bucket list, as they say, like taking one place and the other. Hopefully after COVID and everything, we start continue like following this bucket list of ours. But sure, you should put Lebanon on your list. It's really pretty, and like it's a beautiful country, like very unique, unique. It has like lots of stuff. It's a small country, but like at
mhm.
the same time, very versatile.
Okay.
Yeah, just
And
Google search and see.
you guys don't hate Canadians over there?
No, no, not at all. Like as I told you, like we welcome everyone. Like Lebanon's like is welcoming and people are hospitable and like you find lots of nationalities here coming back and forth and living here and like coming for tourism.
See, I'm not interested in going to like Iraq or Iran
Mm.
or Afghanistan
True, true.
or
Like
Syria
not
or
true.
but because that
I've been
those
to I've been to Syria like before all of this happened, like way before. It was like maybe 10 years ago, like before everything happened. Like it's a beautiful country as well. It's a nice country.
because all of those countries are kind of around you, right? If I'm not mistaken.
True. Yeah, they are around us, like Iraq and Syria. Syria is like next to us, 3 hour drive.
Right.
Like countries around us are like the Arab countries in the Middle East. Like our country is considered the most beautiful, like because it mixes everything. Like some of the countries are like considered inland, While us, like we have the beach, we have the mountains, and like everything in one place.
What sea are you on? Are you on a sea or yeah, lake?
Yeah. No, we're like the Mediterranean.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. I'm just looking up on a map.
There you go.
Yeah,
Smart.
just
Yeah.
north of Israel on the Mediterranean.
Right.
Yeah, we're on the north of Palestine. Like Cyprus is like a 25 minutes flight from us. When the blast happened, well, like when the explosion happened, like people in Cyprus like heard the explosion.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like huge. Okay, like I was far, like it was super scary. How have those people who lived this experience, like devastating.
So you're going to be our first guest where we
Yay!
finish the episode with a question.
Mhm.
So what are 3 life lessons or advice that you've learned from family members?
Okay, so like the first advice is actually from mom, and like it's a Filipino phrase that says like don't carry your own chair. I don't know if you guys heard of this phrase or like anyone told you about it. Like so it's like in a way like you shouldn't be a snob and you shouldn't brag about yourself. Let people be the ones to talk about you in good manners and like everything you do instead of you bragging and talking about yourself. So like mom always tells us, don't carry your own chair, let the people carry your.
Cool.
This is
Okay.
Really like
yeah,
that.
That's a good one.
yeah, like yeah, it teaches us like how to be modest and like yeah, how to be modest and like don't be snob and show off. Eventually, like people are the ones who are supposed to talk about you in a good way instead of you showing what you have.
Right.
Nice. Can you
Yeah,
say it in
like
Tagalog?
nope.
Oh. Okay.
No, like she says it in English like,
Oh,
only.
okay.
So it's like the like if you tell me what's the first thing you learn, it's like this one. This is the first advice in my mind.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and like the second one is something from the it's like a proverb in the Quran that says like perhaps you love something and it's bad for you, and perhaps you hate something and it's good for you. Like God knows and you don't know. Like it's a verse that we always follow because like not everything you want like is good, and like so like basically every delay or everything you say but like oh why it delayed, why it didn't happen or like something eventually happens for a good reason. So this is like the second thing I learned throughout my life,
Nice.
away from a family member. Like the first one's like totally Filipino all over.
Right.
Yeah, and the second one is like based on experience and like this first, and the third one is like something more personal, which is like to always follow your intuition, like like your inner voice. Always follow your inner voice no matter what. It may lead you to the place you want to go to, and if not, it's always a lesson learned. But always follow what your inner voice says because it's actually what you want.
I like that.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I thank you for this nice conversation. It was a beautiful hour spent, and it was nice meeting you guys,
Yeah, you
talking
too.
to you actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
as well.
hopefully one day when you decide to come to Lebanon, I'll be happy to show you around.
Yeah, you could be our guide. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, one more thing
Perfect.
before you go.
sure.
Um, since you are in Beirut, I was just curious.
Mhm.
Do you know any of the organizations or charities that people can donate to? That is like a really good
Of
one.
Of
And
course, I was going to mention that
yeah,
actually. I was going to mention that if anyone who's watching the video or will watch the video and is interested in donating, please donate to the Lebanese Red Cross
okay,
and to the Children Cancer Center in Lebanon, which is CCCL. Like those two need donations in order to help continue helping people and everything.
great, good. Yeah,
I
we'll
can
post.
send you links or anything for you to
Yeah,
attach later on.
yeah,
Definitely.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm,
Well,
yeah. Great.
thanks again for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll definitely have you on in the future if you want to come back on.
I'll be happy to.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you
All
guys.
right. Thanks, Laila. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
You too. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. That was a really fun episode. The conversation was really natural and there's a lot to talk about. And it's interesting to see that perspective, especially coming from Beirut.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's cool to learn that there's literally a community of Filipino Lebanese people that just have their own thing going on too, which is cool. Whole culture.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I remember the Filipino Canadian, like the PhilCan Association that we had up here in Fort St. John, but that was just Filipinos that live in Canada.
Live in Canada. Yeah.
There's rarely any like half Filipino, half Canadian.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah.
Well, that's like in Victoria as well. They have like a Filipino community, but they're all just Filipinos. They're not like any mixed. I mean, I'm sure some are. I'm not really a part of it, so I don't know. But
no, that was awesome. So please subscribe, please follow, please like, hit the notifications, and our interviews are going really well. We have a lot of people lined up. So I'm excited to see what the community brings.
Yeah, it'll be good. Also, if any of you are watching and want to donate to the causes in Beirut that happened because of the explosion, she mentioned the Children Cancer Center of Lebanon, and we'll include links in the description below, as well as the Red Cross of Lebanon as well. So she recommended those places to donate to support the cause, and they'd be much appreciated.
Awesome. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.